Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Syahmi Haikal bin Shahrul Nizam. So today I will be demonstrating on how to do the broken authentication login beyond in our G-Shop. So first of all, in order for us to log in into the Beyond account, we need to find the Beyond Gmail account. So how do we get that? First of all, we need to get into the administration to find the Gmail account. So in order to do that, we need to first try to get into the administration. This we can perform SQL injection to try and enter the SQL injection payload to gain access in the to the administration. Here is this an SQL injection payload list. We can try to enter each of this payload. Let's see. I think we can try this one first. Valid. Okay, so the second payload gave us the access to the administration email, which is the administration. We can try to inspect if there is a path to get into the administration tab or something. You can try to search admin in here and find if there is a path. Okay, we have confirmed that there is an path to the administration, so we can try to put it in the URL to see if we can go into the. After successfully injecting the login with the SQL injection payload, we get the access to the admin email, which leads us to the Beyond email. So since we have already get access to the admin email, anything we request response to the server will be validated since we are in the admin email. By injecting the payload, we can get to the administration tab, which leads us to the beyond gmail.com. So we can start performing the challenge by going into his email account without knowing his password. As you can see here, beyondcommunich@gmail.com. So when an email is at gmail.com, it is usually done by authentication. So we can check whether there is something called authentication here. var e, this is severe authentication, this cons BTOA. What is BTOA? So BTOA is an encode of a string in base64. We can see that the cons is defined by A to the email, and then the password is also defined by A here. Knowing that this is defined by the same thing, we can try to input the encode the Windows BTOA like this one in the console section. You can try Windows BTOA, something like this, and then text debugger email split. Okay, I think that's all. After entering that, we get a base64 strings after we encode it. So since in the debugger section the string is defined by A and also the password is A, I think that we can use the strings that we got, the base64 strings, to use it in the password section since it is defined by the same thing. So we can log out first and then log in. get the Beyond email. And then password, we can use this name we encode earlier. And that's it. We get the access into Beyond Qminich email account. So that's all for this tutorial for Beyond Qminich. So now the login Beyond is labeled as green, which indicates that we have already successfully logged into Beyond and completed the challenge. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, so today I am going to exploit the vulnerability SQL injection to log in into Bender account. So what we're going to do is we're going to the login page, and then we are going to insert the Bender at juice-ch.op as the email, and then we're going to guess his password. Just put anything. Before submitting the form, we need to make sure that the intercept feature on BurbSuite is turned on, and then we will have to enable the Foxy proxy. And then we can proceed by clicking the login. So looking at our BurbSuite, we get a post request with the email, which is the Bender account, and also the password that we insert. And then I'm gonna send it to the repeater. So here I'm gonna see what we got as the response. The response give us 401 unauthorized. And as we know from the login admin, we know that the email section is vulnerable to the SQL. So what we're gonna do is we are going to copy this, and we're going to open our Kali Linux. I'm gonna type out the command nano and create a file. I'm gonna put it as Bender1. And then I will paste the whole request from the BurbSuite in the file. Here at the email Bender Juice Shop, I'm gonna add an asterisk character, which basically means that we are injecting a payload, a SQL payload, and we're going to use that to attack. And then I'm gonna save it and just exit. So now I'm gonna set up the SQL map. So the command SQL map and -r, which is the command that we use when using a file. And I'm also gonna add the file's name that we created just now, which is the bender1.txt. And here we just type y and also y. So now we can see that it says critical, not authorized, try to provide right HTTP authentication. It says 401. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the command SQL map rbender.txt and --ignore -code, and the code that we want to ignore is 401. And we just type y and enter, and y and enter again. And then we're going to open our BurbSuite, and at the email section, as we know that it is vulnerable to SQL injection payload, so I'm gonna add the single quote and --. And at the response section, we received 200, okay, which is better than 401. And then we got our token. And then we're going to open the OAuth Juice Shop, and then we're gonna see that it says you successfully solved a challenge, log in Bender user account. So yeah, that's it for the SQL injection part. So right now I'm going to exploit the vulnerability cross-site request forgery. I want to change the Bender's account password without doing the forgot password or without knowing the current password. So now I'm going to click on the account, and then I'm gonna go to the privacy and security and click on change password. So firstly, we need to make sure that the intercept is on Burp Suite so that we can capture the HTTP package. So for the current password, I'm gonna type anything. I'm just gonna guess anything. And then for the new password, I'm just gonna type anything that I want. And for the repeat password, just make sure that they match. And before clicking on change password, I just have to make sure that I already enable the Foxy proxy. So now on the Burp Suite, we receive a package from the change password, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send this to the repeater, and then I'm gonna send it to the server. So here we can see that the response says that the current password is not correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what happens if I change the new password, which is not similar to the repeat password. So the response shows that new and repeated password do not match. So this is the part where I'm gonna see what happens if we delete the entire current password. And then I'm gonna change the password to Slurm Classic. And now I'm going to send it to server and see the response. And then the response says that we got 200 OK. And then at the OAuth 2 shop, it says that we have changed vendor's password without doing forgot password. So that's all for the vulnerability cross-site request forgery.